Okay, we're here in Toronto, in Tobico, and conclusion of the first race of the Toronto UCI Cyclo-cross weekend, talking with Katy Curtis, who has just won the women's race. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It looked pretty tight race between you and Natasha and Pepper Harlan.
It was tight.
So, I mean, what made the difference? I mean, it looked like you were having less trouble in the sand and the barriers than the others, but...
Yeah, I seem to have a little bit of an advantage in the sand. So if I was able to get in there first, then popped out of there and onto the road, so that worked out pretty well. Pepper and I were going pretty good through the corners and stuff, and then we just had to conserve on the flats.
So, I mean, who was your biggest concern? Was it Pepper or was it Natasha? Natasha obviously has a history of winning here, but...
Yeah, well, Pepper and I raced against each other and together back home, so, and so I guess I was worried about both of them.
Now, last lap, coming along that straightaway before the final sand section, looks like Natasha tried to throw an attack and get in front of you. Were you waiting for something like that?
Yeah. Coming through the backstretch there, heading into the last lap, I knew that she would be trying to get the whole shot into the sand. So we had a little bit of back and forth, a few elbows, pinching off lines. Coming through the corners and onto the stretch, yeah, she tried to put in an attack, and I kind of saw her shadow coming. So I stepped on the pedals and tried to keep her behind me and tried to hold my line through the corners, so got lucky.
Now, you're not probably as well known as Natasha or Pepper on the national scene, so can you give us a little bit of some of your background, like how long you've been racing cross and what are some of your results?
Last year was my first year racing cross. Finished. So I had a mountain biking background, so last year I got into cross, and this year I got into road racing and stuff, and this year I decided to dial it up for cyclocross, and one of our races back home got cancelled this weekend. Pepper was already coming out here, so she twisted my rubber arm and brought me with her. So it's been fun, it's good.
So you'll be back out for nationals now, I guess?
You bet, I already got my flight booked.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks very much, Rob.